Hi everyone, it's Mark again from simplifyinglife.com.au. Today in this short video, one of my series of videos that I'll be making over time, I'd like to discuss the topic of attention and attention training actually. People who know me might know that I'm quite deeply involved with mindfulness training and mindfulness practices, and also use that in my professional practice as a counselor. And what I find is that attention training, being able to focus our attention on other things than the things that cause us anxiety, depression, and all sorts of other nasties, is a way out, is one of the many ways out. So here's the trick. Generally, and you probably know that when we are focused on what actually worries us and what makes us feel really awful, we tend to do more of it. We tend to be really good at focusing on all the stuff that doesn't go well and that keeps upsetting us and that makes us feel horrible. Now, that is a form of attention. So in order to get away from that, not get rid of it per se necessarily in the first instance, but to start thinking other things that are more beneficial and more effective for us, we need to train our attention away from what it is that upsets us. Now, there's two ways of doing that. One way is what psychology calls mundane task focusing, and I'll discuss that really briefly very shortly. And the other one is formal meditation, which happens in some schools of mindfulness training. The mundane task focusing is really simple. If we know that we need to focus on things to train our brain to focus, then what easier way to do it is than to do that on stuff that's really simple. So mundane task focusing goes something like this. If you are doing the vacuuming, if you are doing the dishwashing, if you are doing the, cleaning the windows outside, if you are doing the gardening, which are normally tasks where our mind usually roams free. We all know that one. I do anyway. Whenever I'm doing dishes or vacuuming, my mind thinks about all sorts of stuff. And if I don't train it a certain way, it'll automatically go to default stuff, which is either good or bad, but not necessarily what I choose it to be. It just comes. Whereas if I really choose to focus my attention, then I can actually train that part of my brain. And I'll talk about that in other videos, so trust me. But I can train my brain to stay on task. So it's a good tool to move away from depression, anxiety thoughts, or other mental ill health thoughts and feelings. To train our brain away from that into another direction can be really useful. And that mundane task focusing is a really simple tool to do it. So you start off with the task, just as you are. Just watch your mind wander, as it probably will. But then as part of that exercise, make a really strong commitment to now stay focused on that task. Just be really present with vacuuming, gardening, doing the dishes, doing the laundry, whatever it is. Just be very mindful and be very present with it. It could also be walking, which you could consider a mundane task in a sense. Be very mindful about walking, how you plant your feet on the floor, how your arms move, how your breathing goes up and down, etc., etc. To do that, trust me, and there's lots of neuroscience behind that, and lots of neuroscience research will actually train that muscle in your brain that allows you to keep your attention on what it is that you choose, rather than your brain just taking off with you and making you focus on what it chooses you to focus on. So that's number one. That's sort of strategy number one. The other one is obviously formal meditation in whatever way you want to do that, lying down, sitting up, guided meditations, quiet meditations. I have a preference, and I'll talk about that one in videos to come. But another way to focus your thoughts away and become more present, because that's what it's all about, really, becoming more here and now, is to meditate. How long? People ask me. Well, I don't know, but anything is better than nothing. So if you find you're having a hard time with meditation because you don't like the word, or you don't like the practice, or you think it's a bit woo-woo, we'll start off with 5 minutes, and I'll give you some strategies and other videos on how to do that properly. But give yourself 5 minutes, or look something up on Google, by the way. 5 minutes for starts, and then see if you can stretch it to 10 minutes. My personal practice, when I do it, no, I don't do it always. I'm fallible as anyone, but I try to do it at least once a day or a number of times a week. Is usually about 15 to 20 minutes. The school of thought that I learned a lot of skills from suggests half an hour a day, which I find very long. On the other hand, if you can do it, why not? Meditation is one of those things where more is actually better. So the more you can put in, the better it will actually help you to train your brain, because that's what that does too. And again, I'll explain the technicalities about that a bit later on in other videos, because once you start to understand that, it really makes a lot of sense. So here we go. 2 strategies. 1, mundane task focusing. 2, formal meditation. What do? They help you to become a master of focusing attention. So they help you to train your brain to stick to the task that you wanted to stick to, rather than it running off with you and taking you down narrow streets of unhelpful and not so fun thoughts and feelings. If you enjoy that, if you would like that, and I think we would all like to get rid of some stresses in our lives, it's a really good thing to do and to practice. Any questions? Let me know. More than happy to answer them. Marc, MARC @simplifyinglife.com.au, or find me on Facebook, and we will have a chat soon about this. See ya.